It's that nigga that gain, you know, nigga that like not gain weight, the nigga that lost weight, but lifted weights and some shit doing some weight. So he big as hell now. Man, it's that nigga got muscles and shit, man. So he ain't bullshit this time.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, next night, hello. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's real fantastic.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, next night, hello. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's real fantastic.
Yo, what up, man? Let me know that my sound is good, everything straight sound wise. Ain't busting your eardrums out. Should be straight now. Should be good. Should be a lot better. Shout out to everybody in the building. I don't know, for whatever reason, it's not a lot of y'all, but hey, the show must go on. You know how I get down. It is what it is. So hey, man, shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all like the streams you come in or whatever. As we see, we our own location. You know what I mean? If I open that up, I don't know if it'll probably, I don't know. We'll let more light in here. So let's try it. Fuck it. Let's see. Yeah. No, make my ass look a whole lot darker. Can't fucking see me. So hold on. Let's see. I will go with it. It is what it is. So shout out to everybody, man. So this is just me, trying to get back in the groove or whatnot. Get used to talking about stuff, current events, news, important stuff, whatnot. But most importantly, man, like I told y'all, bro, this ain't just see. I can't. Yeah, man. The dark skin flight, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. All right, yeah, we can't too dark. We too dark for the light. All right. G Dizzle, you'll live on that one. You get that one. My yellow fella, brother. All right, we'll let you have that one. But anyway, so yeah, man, like I told y'all, the current events and stuff of what's going on. Of course, we gonna bring it to it. And everybody's been talking about the whole thing about Black women being the most evicted, right? Having the highest eviction rate. Well, this is important because let me share this with you guys. Okay. Again, man, Twitter is like a godsend for my bad, Chrome tab. Here we go. All right. So add that to the stream. Make it a little bit bigger. Make that a little bigger. All right. Now, cool. Kellyanne Targaryen says, ladies, the tip is dropping. Don't cut him a key. Don't let him stay more than 3 nights in a row. And most importantly, don't let him even get one piece of mail sent to your address. She meant to say sent, but I didn't put it on there. After that, he's a tenant. Stay woke. Of course, you know, hey, it's a little lighthearted thing or whatnot, right? A little lighthearted joke, you know. But, you know, a lot of things, as they say, truth is said in jest. And the thing is it's a level of delusion in this whole black girl magic, you know, the black woman is God and don't need no man and all this stuff that constantly gets regurgitated and just actually taken on and believed by black women, right? Yeah, exactly. Listen, and we all know it's no need to warn about homosexuals because we had women that have admitted to to housing, harboring, and hoeing for homosexuals. Okay, black women are the kings of the woman kings. Okay, of housing, harboring, and hoeing for homosexuals. So for her to say this, you know, I just had to say my little piece. And I just replied like, hey, well, it's funny that you're saying this. Well, let me just show you my reply. Let me see. Okay, let's see if I can go. Sure. Does it show my reply? Nope, it's not gonna show my reply. Okay, but you know, brothers were coming back with their comebacks. And let me see. Hold on. So let me stop sharing this and then I'll just go find mine. Okay. And this was my reply. Okay. Share this. This is my reply. Funny part about it is that the multiple current stories of black women being the most evicted. What key you gonna give them? The spare Ultima? You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy to me as to how oblivious that a lot of people are to the facts. Okay, the stuff we say here isn't all just to shit on black women, just to fucking pick at black women. But no, bro, listen, delusion is a problem. Okay, there's a big difference between delusion. I had to make this. I had to tell somebody this on the boat, man. Delusion and belief or confidence are 2 different things. Okay, you know, thinking that you're this or that or whatever, and you trying to be positive thinking and stuff is cool, but it's some shit that's just not reality. It's just not. I can say, man, I can fly all day. I can say that shit and tell myself this shit, but as soon as I jump off that damn building, okay, well, you have to be scraping my ass up off the concrete. And anybody that's around me that lets me believe it, not only believe it and say it, it gets to the point of where I actually go out and try to perform this impossible feat. Okay, those people are just as bad as me because they knew what the hell I was doing and they weren't correcting me. They weren't telling me, hey, bro, look, dog, we like the faith, man. We like the belief or whatever. But brother, you ain't got no wings. You ain't got no superpowers. You jump your ass off this building, you're going to die. You're going to die. Okay? And that's what's happening in a lot of these situations to where, you know, black women are this, black women are the most educated, all these things that, again, if you really get down into the numbers and you look at the facts of it, you know what I'm saying? D-Ski, what's up, bro? If it weren't for homosexuals, men of the Scraggle Daggers won't get any play. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. They would still get play. But the homosexual, you got to understand the point and the reason for the homosexual. The homosexual gives her power over that man. Okay? The homosexual gives a woman that in herself is still, you know, struggling along herself or whatever, or doing a little bit better than poverty, control over a man that what she sees as control. Because he come home to her every night and she can put him out if she want to put him out, and you know he got to do what she tells him to do when he's around her, even though when she's not around him, he's who knows what he's doing. And we can all attest to this too, man. You know, we've seen it to where the dude that don't bring nothing to the table but himself and some dick run a damn car on the ground, you know what I'm saying? Eat up all the food in the house, spend all the food stamps, and then lo and behold, he come to find out he bringing bitches to the house while she at work. And she want to air it out for whatever reason. That'd be the crazy shit to me. Bruh, it's certain shit, bruh, to where the whole take it to the grave shit, bruh. Nobody understands that no more. Men or women. Men are especially supposed to fucking understand this shit because, bruh, on Twitter, the wild shit niggas be saying, bruh, like, bruh, nigga, you have to kill me before I ever say some of the shit these dudes say. But, you know, for sympathy reasons or, you know, congratulations and fake fucking support from the peanut gallery, all that shit. Yeah, girl, you did right. He wasn't nothing. He wasn't this. Shout out to D-Ski. Appreciate you, man. Happy to see you back, brother. Appreciate you for the 5, fam. Archer, let's not overlook the fact that a lot of these women can only qualify for that type of guy. When we say they choose from the type of guys we speak of, yeah, man. And listen, so that's the thing too. So a lot of women don't understand that just because a guy will sleep with you, don't mean that guy will take you serious and take you on. He won't be in a relationship with you. He won't live with you. Hell, he will barely be seen out in public with you. Any of that shit, right? But y'all just think because he drops some dick off in you that he cares or he takes you serious. No. And it's crazy to me that women still don't understand this. But yet still, you know, the women's empowerment movement and their, you know, sexual freedom and, you know, free sexual expression, and, you know, they're using their sexuality as, you know, as they want to. They can do it. But what is it getting you? Other than motherfucking babies and poverty. Right? Shout out to Jesus, man, for the Vegas show. Appreciate you, man. I'm trying not to burn it up. I'll put it in a slot machine, man. That name, bro. That name is wild, but well, they don't see it that way, and it's crazy as to how, you know. I just realized this nigga name, bro. Stop it. You're the old millennial. That's why younger millennials and Gen Z grew up with that internet think it's okay. Well, and that's again, man, you're right. You know what I'm saying? I'm an almost old nigga. You know, a lot of the things that we understood, we believed in, and you know, lines that were set or whatever are damn near non-existent to this point. You know, like there being such thing as, you know, a B in the LGBT for man. There is no such thing as a B for men. Again, you either like pussy or you don't. Okay, it's either full-time pussy or you're part-time pussy. Okay, and if you're part-time pussy, that means you like something else and you just dabble in the pussy every now and again. You ain't no. But then too, that's another thing too, bro. Like I said, I got so many things bookmarked that I can't believe. Like, I'm just telling you, bro, it's scary out here, dog, and it's crazy because shout out to G Dizzle for for those of us that have sons, man, especially teenage sons, bro, this is the mark. And this is why I be telling y'all, dog, you can't just wash your hands and be like, fuck them niggas. Oh, you know, every man for themselves or whatever the fuck and la la la, and they'll just figure it out. Nah, man, this, bro, if you got a son, a little homie, nephew, godson, whoever, bro, these younger cats, bro, man, they don't even see the danger because the shit is so, you know what I mean? So, like you said, they grew up in it and it's forced upon them, so they don't see a problem with it. You know what I mean? So you have to literally teach them, pull them to the side, and be like, hey, man, no, this shit's not cool. This is not manly. It's not masculine. You got to look out for this shit. You got to move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it really is. I'm telling you, like these kids have no idea. They don't even, you know, bro, that shit, this, you know, men trying to act like women shit didn't exist for us as a kid. Didn't exist at all. Teenage years, even to my like early 20s or whatever. You see it every now and again, but everybody know who it was, and everybody would point it out and be like, hey, man, that's a damn man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the surgeries and shit just wasn't like they are now. But all right, so let's move on. So, of course, we'll play the well, actually, you don't need to really play it. Well, I'll play the clip. Fair use on using the clip so you guys can see it. Let me remove this, stop sharing that. Share this.
In the U.S. since the pandemic is on track to become a crisis, and Black women are being affected the most by it. According to Eviction Lab, there were more than 434,000 evictions last year. So for some context to this, the eviction moratorium was in place for a large portion of the year, but the number of renters at risk of eviction as of January spiked to about 3 million and counting. And of those, Black women have the highest average of eviction filed against them at 6.2%.
Now, everything I saw everybody cover, shot at everybody to cover this, I heard nobody say this or talk about it. Now, you got to think about it, right? So, during the pandemic, you got 3 stimuluses, right? 3 stimuluses, which is what, $2,000 or whatever a pop. Actually, no. It was the base was $1,500, and then it was an extra $500 per kid, right? So the first one was an extra $500 per kid. Okay, remember that women were bragging about, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, I got 6 kids, so you know my stimulus gonna be fat as fuck. I'm balling with this stimulus. Remember that shit? See, and that's why I say context and stuff is important of actually going back to the time at hand. So the first stimulus was, I think, $1,500 basis, and then $500 for each kid. Second time around, they did the other stimulus. They reduced it down to like what, $200 per kid or something like that, or whatever, but still the original basis. And no, so it was 2, not 3. Either way, so 2 stimuluses, okay. And then most importantly, though, you had a tax return. And remember, we went over the numbers, you know, before I left, and on average, single mom, average Black woman, like I said, was getting like what, I want to say $5,000 or more dollars at the minimum, $5,000 for a tax return. So 1,200. Let's say she had 2 kids, so that's what was it, 1,500? 1,500 plus 500 each kid, so 2,500. All right, so we had 7,500, and then we'll add, just say you take 200 away, 400 away from it, so add 2,100 to it. So we had $9,600, almost 10 bands. Almost 10 bands. So you mean to tell me you stayed off your rent, you purposely didn't pay your rent, but you had this free 10 bands, right? What'd you do with it? What'd you do with it? And again, this is the most important part. Nobody talks about the response, you know, the responsibility, especially when it comes to economics and, you know, fiscal responsibility and things like this, budgeting your money, doing things like that matter is very important. But what did you do with all that money? Well, Miami trips. What's that damn tequila? Everybody, Don Julio, 1942. You know, BBLs, cruise ship trips. You know, all this shit, right? Louis bags and designer shit. Just flicking it up on the fucking on the gram. Everybody always doing something, just balling out of control. And lo and behold, at the end of the year, what? Now you're homeless. And not just you. Again, we know the majority of these black women are what? They have children. Majority of these black women that are getting evicted, they have kids. So, damn, you don't give a damn about your kids? Oh, here we go. Hold on. We got Hot Dusty 3000. I don't know what that means. The amount of the stimulus checks depended on your income. Those checks were little to no help for most people. Brother or sister. And I imagine that you're a woman. I'd imagine because you got Hot Dusty or whatever. That's probably the thing. But ma'am, or sir, whoever you are, okay? If I gave you $2,000 just free in your hand, are you going to turn it down? And what you're saying is the majority of the people here, if you're getting evicted, I promise you that you qualified for it. If I was a bet, if I put money on it, I'd say at least 85% of the people. Oh, Ed, we finna get to that. Shout out to Ed, man. We're gonna get to that, Ed. I'll say 85% of the people that qualified for the stimulus were those who got evicted. Black women especially. Okay? And don't tell me it was no little to no help, because again, that's free money. Twice. How's it not helping you? That's money that you didn't have. And then what are you doing? And then too, so, and this, I told y'all, man, this is why it's the importance, right? This is the importance of conversation, people. So what was another big thing that they were doing, y'all? What was another huge thing that everybody was doing during the pandemic? Listen, enhanced utility. Shout out to you, man. We about to get into it. And that's why I told y'all, bro, this ain't just about shitting on nobody or whatever. I'm here to help you get prepared if you're not already, or at least make you aware. Bro, this is not going to be nothing like we ever seen in our lifetime. All the old fucking economists, man, real deal motherfuckers are telling you, bro, this shit is going to be a fucking depression, bro. You're already in the recession. It's going to be a depression because you it's too many things happening at the same time. Not the extensions, though. Unemployment, y'all. Remember that? And that was part of the plan. So, see, when they purposely overpaid people not to work, this is why you have a shortage now. This is why you can't. This is why you go somewhere to a damn restaurant and it's two people working. Or you go somewhere in a store and they ain't got enough staff to cover this, that, and the other. It was deliberately done, man, to kill the will of people fucking working. Bro, if you give motherfuckers shit for free, bro, that's how they're gonna expect for life. That's why that's why hard work pays off. That shit is, bro, all these little things that we were told, bro. Money don't grow on trees. There is no free lunch. All of these fucking very, very important principles and mentalities have purposely been washed away. So you get this spirit and this fucking ideology of entitlement. And now you're controlled. Because better trust and believe, man. They're going to find a way. They're going to find a fucking way for them to be able to live and survive and all this stuff because they have kids. But at the same time, what are you going to have to do it? Exactly. This too. Bro, it lasted for 2 years and it kept getting extended or whatever. You mean to tell me and people purposely wrote this shit out with no intention of paying that rent? Yes, it is. So that whole thing about it not being enough money to help people or whatever, bro. Listen, I promise you, you walk up to anybody, okay, even a fucking millionaire or whatever, and you hand them $2,000, they're not gonna say, "Oh, this is not enough money. I'm not gonna take it." That's just that in itself is just a horrible mentality. But moving on.
compared to white women at 3.4%. Now, that equates to 1 in 4 Black renters living in a place where Black eviction filing rates were almost double than that of their white counterparts. So joining us now is Akira Drake Rodriguez. She's an assistant professor of city and regional planning at the Stuart Weitzman School of Design at the University of Pennsylvania. She's also the author of Diverging Space for Deviance, the Politics of Atlanta's Public Housing. Professor Drake, great to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. So can you give us an idea of why evictions are so high for Black women specifically and the short and long-term impact it's having on them and their families?
Sure. So Black women traditionally are tasked with a lot of the caretaking roles of both their immediate family, but also their extended family. And so what you're more likely to see is that these are the women who are going to be having to take in cousins, having to take in people who are experiencing their own economic precarity or housing precarity in addition to their own families. As sort of the head caretakers, you also see that they're more likely to make these sorts of sacrifices. So you see Black women, and all women actually, but Black women in particular, because they have kind of less opportunity and less access, more likely to stay, for example, in substandard housing or expensive housing if it means that their child has access to a good school or they have access to a job opportunity.
But hold on, we gotta talk about that too. Man, y'all out of hand, man. Come on, man. Let her live, dog. Let her live. Okay. Now listen, we remember too how people were starting to complain, homeowners, okay, were starting to complain because people started doing what? People started allowing their properties to become these Section 8 houses, or I don't want to say at some point they made them turn them into Section 8 houses, but the government was subsidizing to where you had these low income people move into these, middle to higher income environments or neighborhoods, right? And just, what all chaos ensued, okay, and followed. Who said that? I forget. I heard somebody say it yesterday on damn, whose stream was that? I think it was Bernard. Shout out to Bernard. And the brother, or it was 2 days ago. The brother mentioned Hurricane Katrina. One of the biggest things and the biggest, craziest fucking aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, what people really didn't know unless you were, actually there or whatever, or you were, I want to say just an adult or to a teenager, or teenager to a young adult at that age, was the crime and the fucking just the not giving a fuckness of them New Orleans niggas. Everywhere the New Orleans niggas went, bro, it just changed everything. It was bad, bro. It was real bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you had these guys that were living in their fucking little environment, their little ecosystem, and then you spread that shit throughout the whole South, and then some of the fucking Midwest, and I don't think it was too big out West Coast, but all of that fucking New Orleans mentality shit, bro, that shit was bad, dog. Yep, exactly. Shout out to D-Mac, bro. And that's how I know. When Hurricane Katrina happened, I knew because of how crazy Atlanta got. And the niggas even spread down to Macon. So you start hearing about it, bro. You started actually feeling it because you saw how the fucking city changed and the movement changed. All right. So that's another big thing too, bro. When you literally have a mindset or just a quality of life and living that niggas are used to, and you transplant them into something that's just not like that. Even like I said, bro, every hood ain't built the same. A hood in motherfucking Georgia ain't the same as a hood in Illinois, ain't the same as a hood in Cali, and the same as a hood in New York. So when you get something that's just brand new and totally different, even though it's quote unquote hood, bruh, that shit right there is the most volatile, crazy shit ever. And that was one of the biggest things that happened with the whole Hurricane Katrina fucking transplants, bro.
And so you kind of create these sort of cascading problems and issues when it comes to evictions, and that they are more likely to lose their job. They are more likely to have to travel further for work, increasing their economic precarity, and more likely to be the caretaker and taking on a lot of additional families into their household. So getting this eviction is this very sort of permanent stain on their record. It impacts their credit. It impacts their ability to find more housing. A lot of these Black women are more likely to experience bouts of homelessness as a result of these evictions. Their credit is less likely to remain intact after having some of these housing issues. So it's really, when we talk about intersectionality, it really is a prime example of how intersectionality works, right? They are less likely to be employed. They are making lower wages. They are in these substandard housing units. And these impacts are huge. As you can see, the psychological trauma, the difficulty, and, imagine getting turned down for housing opportunity after housing opportunity, economic opportunity. It can really, really start to have an impact on their mental health as well.
Sure, and their families as well, because I imagine they are also more likely to have children in tow, correct?
For sure, yes.
Now, did y'all see how the white lady snuck that knife in there? Listen, y'all. Listen, the craziest part of this, bro, is like Black women don't understand the reality that they're in. And what's crazy to me is I hopped in one of these spaces, right? And the girl that was there, oh, you niggas bringing up statistics is just like white folks. You just being like white folks and just want to throw statistics out there and not worry about the how, the wins, the why, and the cause. Bro, that's fucking irrelevant, dog. Listen, we know the cause, okay? People that are impoverished, that fucking are irresponsible with fucking reproduction, okay? If you know that you're poor, why would you then have a child? And not only just have one child, but have multiple children and keep the cycle going? Why would you keep doing this? And yes, it falls on the women because the women control sex and childbirth. Along with, you choose the man you allow to get you pregnant. And we know that it's a small, very small pool of men that they are fucking choosing to sleep with. Okay, most of which that are not financially stable, not responsible, not father material, have no intentions, okay, of being a father to that child that they fucking just put in that woman. But they don't give a damn. They just let it keep happening.
This is a very difficult problem.
So, Professor, according to that report by Eviction Lab that we talked about earlier, women in general are evicted more than men. So how do you think the Department of Housing and Urban Development could be, addressing this issue, especially for Black women, but for women in general?
I think it's really important to know about these causes of higher rates of eviction and really thinking about the full package that is required to house someone. It is not just the provision of a voucher. It's not just the provision of a subsidy. It is not just the provision of a single unit. It really is this sort of bundle.
Now, this is another thing we got to cover too, right? So when you look at this, she's speaking around the fact or matter that these women are getting evicted with help. These women are getting evicted with food stamps, WIC, Social Security in some cases, child support, all of these things, right? All of this fucking financial help, all of this fucking government subsidy, and yet and still they can't keep a necessity. Food, clothing, shelter. Bro, this is why we be trying to tell y'all, bro, listen, this system is deliberate, okay? And it's just nothing but greed. They don't give a damn about you as a man, bro. White, black, whatever, indifferent. Black men especially, though, because we get hit higher. Why? Because, again, you have the most fucking children out of wedlock. Black women are going to run to the child support office more so than anybody else twofold. One, because they want to have control of that man, and two, because the state forces you if and when you receive state services. Okay, so it's why we have to do this, man, and break it down and speak on the things that this woman is speaking around. Okay, this woman is never going to come out and tell you the truth and tell you what the reason is, the rhyme, the reason, and the actual stats and data behind it, and the trends and the behavior that's going on. Okay, but she's clear to see, clear as day as a man, because a lot of us either been through it, been around it, or went through it ourselves. Okay, whether it be growing up or as an adult. But Cash App, OnlyFans, we ain't gonna get into that, bro.
Of care, of transportation, of mental health supports, of physical health supports, the ability to have flexible housing. So often you are allotted housing based on the number of dependents you have, and people can wait on very long waiting lists, and suddenly the housing they're allotted is pretty much obsolete to their needs. So having responsive.
Did you hear that? Did you guys hear that? Did you hear what she just admitted to and what she just said? Do you guys understand what she just admitted to? So it's a woman that got pregnant, applied for government housing, okay? And in the midst of the waiting list, being on the waiting list for government housing, she's had one or more children, to the point of where now what she originally applied for isn't even adequate anymore. Exactly. And somehow it always comes back around and down to, like I said, this whole conversation happened. The reason why I did this is because, black women out here talking about, don't let him stay, sis. Don't let him stay overnight. Don't give him no key no matter what. Shout it. What key you got to give him? Huh? A hotel room key? Motel room key? You ain't got no house. Hell, you barely got an apartment. And then we get to the most important part we about to get to, man, is the actual economics parts from the economists. Okay, listen, I looked it up yesterday. On average, renters average rent now is over $2,000 nationally. Okay, so just think about what you did to yourself through your irresponsibility, willful irresponsibility, balling out and everything through the pandemic 2020, 2021, right? To now, okay, well, you've been kicked out. And not only have you been kicked out, you've been kicked out right before the biggest rent motherfucking boom in your lifetime. 20 to 40% rises in rent rates. Okay. Now we know most places rent at least require you at a minimum with great outstanding credit or whatever to do what? Give you fucking 1 month's rent in the hole for a deposit, right? Security deposit. Well, ma'am, you just fucking bucked on your rent for the last 2 years. Okay. You're irresponsible or whatever. Well, ma'am, we're gonna need you to give us 3 months in advance for us to even consider you. If we even consider you. Other than that, no, ma'am, sorry. We're looking at your past rent history. You have a collection where you clearly you didn't pay, you didn't even attempt to pay anything. So why would we, you know what I'm saying? Why would we take that risk? That's the wonderful thing about capitalism, man. And that's why they want to destroy capitalism, because in everything else, bro, in everything else in the socialist thing, you don't have to be fucking financially responsible. The state's just going to find a way and make somebody make a fucking business or entrepreneur fucking house you. Reward you for your fucking laziness.
Flexible housing, having the wraparound services, which HUD does. They do a lot of social service wraparound support, but it needs to be so much more, particularly as the department does much more with vouchers and mobility solutions that place people out of their kinship networks and place people out of where they have their home base and their sort of support network. Those are the things that really make housing a home. And I think the more that HUD sort of understands that full bundle of what is needed to house someone properly, that will help with the solutions.
And Professor, what advice do you have for anyone who may be watching right now and facing eviction and not sure what to do? What resources could you point them to?
Definitely look into your local tenant association, look into your local fair housing center so they can provide you with legal advice that is needed and connect you with the services and support that is available. There has been usually, if you kind of look into the eviction subsidies and moratoriums, there were usually nonprofits that were allocated and tasked with that. And there was a lot of capacity and institution building around sort of eviction prevention. And so definitely mobilizing and organizing, I think, is really critical. I think a lot of people feel alone in these and embarrassed about being evicted, and being in tenant associations, working with these resources and networks that were established when so many were facing eviction and before that foreclosure, I think is really important, again, with that mental health and that weathering that occurs. So really sort of being in community with others is really important at this time.
All right, Professor Akira Drake Rodriguez, we appreciate your expertise. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep. And now we're about to get into the, well, let me do this and then we'll go to the most important part of it. So again, man, and this is the actual stats behind it right here. Let me pull this up. And this right here was the study they was talking about from evictionlab.org. Absolute and relative disparities in total evictions greatest for Black renters. 113,415 women evicted compared to 83,182 men. 36.3% more Black women than Black men. Okay. Now, you niggas can't be out here homeless either. Definitely not. Listen, bro. If you to the point of where you can hit the club, you can fucking buy Gucci, Jordans, you can buy your weed, you can motherfucking buy bottles, you can do all that shit, bro. I don't feel bad for you, dog, if you're homeless. I don't. Actually, I'm a whole lot harder on you as a fucking man, because as a man, you're supposed to understand, bro, ain't nobody supposed to be giving you no handout. Ain't nobody supposed to be looking out for you. Ain't nobody supposed to be motherfucking feeling no sympathy or sadness or sorrow for you being an irresponsible ass nigga. There's no way, bro. There's no way that we should be also leading eviction rates when you mean to tell me motherfucking Jorge, and Carlos, okay, that are working for less than minimum wage a lot of times. We know this. It's a fact that we actually know, okay? You mean to tell me what they say, what, doubling them up? We're doubling up fucking Hispanics, bro, in eviction rate? Bro, we got to get our shit together. And that's why I'm saying too, man, listen, this ain't just about the whole women or whatever. It's about us in the same. And a big reason as to how and why women get a fucking opportunity and chance or excuse to be out of order is they can just point at the man. What are the men doing? What are the men doing? No fucking way, bro. Your ass out here, motherfucking sleeping in your trunk, nigga. Hey, I don't hope you to die, but nigga, hey, gangrene on that pinky toe, that toe got to go. You need that life lesson, my boy, so you can understand the motherfucking seriousness of this shit. Niggas be way too much into motherfucking, worried about impressing motherfucking complete and total strangers, living a fake ass fucking life and shit, right? To keep up an image that's just not real, and the whole time you homeless. Especially like I said, bro, we talking what eviction, so more likely than not, it's gonna be the older people than the younger people. You can't afford a place to stay, dog. Come on, dog. Again, that is a necessity of life. Cowboy, they do live 10 deep, but niggas have roommates too. Niggas be remember before I left, old girl was talking about Buddy had roommates. Bro, listen, and I know that may be a little weird or whatever, but you gotta listen. Shout out to Cowboy for saying this. Bro, you gotta learn to put your pride to the side, dog. Okay? Learn to put your pride to the side. And after you do that first, you need to fucking make a plan. Okay? Plan, goals, and milestones. Okay? You can't that's why I always give the gym analogy. Bro, you can't go in the fucking gym day one, you ain't never touched weights in your life and think you gonna motherfucking just throw up 225 like it's nothing. You want to hurt yourself. The same principle applies to economics and just smart life decisions overall. From the woman you're picking to the job you're working, all those things, man. But it starts with you having a fair assessment of where you are and not being delusional. The biggest issue and problem with black people overall is there's a lot of fucking delusion, bro. Other than that, it's gonna be like non-seriousness and lack of accountability. But the delusion shit, bro, that is the first one right now, bro. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It really is. For Latinx renters, we predicted 56,400 women evictees and 51,456 men evictees. 9.6 more Latinx women and Latinx men. Among white renters, there was a smaller gap in total eviction genders, 153,954 women relative to 142,934 men. Okay. And well, hold on. They got more numbers than us. White folks is the most, again, well, it's 6 times more white people than black people. So you have to start looking at the percentage that's being affected. That's why it's more impactful. Okay. There's 6 times more white people than black people, right? But yet and still, when it comes to the women are not even, what's that? So that's a 20,000 gap, just about, a 30,000 gap. So they're less than a third of black women that are almost equivalent to my bad. So it's 50. So 113, so 40, so 40,000. So still, you're 40,000 less than people that are 6 times your fucking population. That's a problem. For the men, the same. Okay. The men are doing a whole lot when it comes to the gap wise, because like I said, it's for us that's for white men to white women, it's only, like they said, 11,000 gap. But for the men, at least, like I said, we are a lot further off than the black women, which that's like 50,000 on the dot. So when it comes to percentage wise or whatever, we're not as close or doing as bad as white men when it comes to in comparison to the women. But at the same time, like you said, it's still way too much of us in comparison to the overall population, and to be that high. So now let's get into this, the most important part, man. And listen, bro, I know y'all sub to all the brothers and stuff, which is great and cool. But diversify your YouTube, man. Don't just be on YouTube to, hear niggas roast and joke and all that shit, right? which, you know, hey, it's always time for something or whatever and have some fun. But at the same time, man, make sure you have something that's going to teach you something. All right. Something that's going to help you learn something and keep you aware of the shit that's really, really important. All right. I'm pretty sure I told you guys about this before I left, but the name of the channel is InvestoPads. All right. If you're not sub to InvestoPads, go sub to InvestoPads. What InvestoPads does is they pretty much take snippets of and shorts of stuff from Robert Kiyosaki, Rickards, and it's another one. It's another one too. I had it. I thought I saved it, but I couldn't find it. But that one was an hour long. But this is just a snippet of one of those conversations. So we'll just get into that.
COVID. Now, of course, COVID made it worse, yes. And the war in Ukraine made it worse yet, yes. But this really started with Trump's trade war in 2018. So that, like I said, there's a thread that runs through all these things. So not to throw out my hands, I'm not going to do that. But when you ask me that, I'm thinking, well, you want to talk about China, Ukraine, supply chain, Biden, they're all a big deal. If in terms of tragedy, probably the war in Ukraine is the most important because it's highly, highly significant economically and strategically. But of course, there's a human tragedy going with it. If Chinese real estate implodes, okay, there's some hardship here and there, but it's not like people being killed or maimed or forced into refugee status. And that is part of what's going on in Ukraine. So that's probably the biggest single one, but I wouldn't miss the fact that all these things are going on at once. The number one question, because everyone's concerned about inflation, but there's a big backstory there. But I always say when it comes to your own money, everybody has a PhD in economics. You don't need Larry Summers to tell you what's going on with your budget and your ability to feed your family or keep a roof over your head. So people get inflation. One of the reasons it's so politically toxic is because it's unavoidable. You can't fudge it. You can't spin it. It's like, hey, if I used to fill up my Ford F-150 truck for $50 and now it's $125, A, you get it. It's right in your face. And B, that's $75 that you don't have to take your spouse out to dinner, buy a new jacket or whatever. So there's kind of demand destruction at the same time you're spending more money on the one thing you can't do without. So people get it. But then from there, the question I get the most is, hey, Jim, is this going to cause a recession? Are we going to have a recession? And as recently as a few months ago, I would say, yeah, I think so. You can see it coming late this year, early next year. Now I say, we're in a recession. I mean, it's not coming, we're in it. And there's data, I never make statements like that, Brian, without supporting it. So the standard definition of a recession is 2 consecutive quarters of declining GDP.
All right, so I'm stopping it here just to say this. Listen, bro. The Fed, the Fed is always lied to us, bro. Okay. All right. The Fed is not a part of the United States of America. The Fed is something totally separate of itself. While liking it too, like I said, from an analogy standpoint, it would be like the Golden Company in Game of Thrones. Right. The Fed is a global fucking thing, bro. You have federal banks that are multinational. Okay. The Fed is to loan money, control the money, and make sure they get paid. And pretty much everything that goes on in the world is controlled by the Fed. That's why JFK got up out of here. That's why they tried to get Andrew Jackson up out of here. Anybody, everybody. That's why they also tried to get Ronald Reagan up out of here. Okay. You go against the Fed and you try to fucking get any type of back currency or whatever, you will probably be taking a trip to the upper room. All right. When you have fiat currency, you're allowed to do QE. You're allowed to print money out of the sky. You're allowed to do what's been done for the last 2 years. Where they said $4 trillion was printed like from 2021, from the beginning of the pandemic to 2021, over $4 trillion was printed, bro. 4 trillion. Okay. I really wish I could have found the one that I wanted, what Jim Rickards is talking about. But if you guys go and look at, I'll find what it is and I'll put it in there. But he explained the fact of the matter to you, the importance of it, bro. All right. And the reason why everything went up, skyrocketed, is because there's money out there. As a fucking corporation, it is your job to be as profitable as possible. So, of course, if you got $4 trillion that's out here in the world that's been fucking printed, well, you have to raise prices in the interest of your shareholders. Okay. You have that responsibility. So the government and the Fed together intentionally did the shit. Because now jobs are going to, all this stuff right now that is happening, gas is low, and all this shit is just in hopes of for the fucking midterms. And really, it's not in hopes of because they know what's going to happen. It's a fucking plot and a plan for everything to be good right before the midterms. And as soon as the Republicans take over, and I don't give a fuck about being a Republican, okay, this is it. This isn't a political thing or me, but again, this is just a game. The way the political game is played, they take away all these fucking measures they have in place now to falsely prop up the fucking economy, and now shit gets really bad, super bad. No James Brown.
A few more bells and whistles having to do with unemployment and a few other things, but that's the rule of thumb. So based on that, based on the best available estimate for the second quarter, likely to be accurate, we're in a recession today. Now it's not severe, but that's like saying I'm in bed with pneumonia, but I'm not dying. Well, okay, but we're in a recession right now. There's a lot of whistling past the graveyard. I mean, the stock market, the buy the dips mentality hasn't gone away. It's still there. You got people like Jim Cramer yelling, buy Netflix or whatever. There's institutional support. There's momentum trading. Of course, 95% of the trading is by robots. So you got to reverse engineer the 27-year-olds from Bangladesh who don't get out much. They're the ones really writing these algorithms. I mean, brilliant engineers, but you'd have to show them around Wall Street. So all that's going on. So we haven't really seen the market collapse, stock market collapse that I would expect in association with a severe recession has not happened yet. This is just going to play out. It'll get worse as the year goes on.
All right. So you're expecting a major correction in stock markets.
Yeah, I'm not alone. I mean that is my expectation. I have my own models and I look at it closely. But if you listen to Michael Burry, Jeremy Grantham, Charlie Munger, these people have been around and they run hundreds of billions, and they're saying the same thing. So every now and then someone will throw some statistic at me and I go, how long is your time series? And I go, we took back 5 years. I was like, talk to me if you've done it for 100 years because that's a little more meaningful. But Jeremy Grantham actually did do a 100-year time series and looked at bubbles all over the world. 1929 U.S., 1989 Japan, 2000 dot-com stocks, and many others. And he said he's never seen anything like it. It's a trip.
Again, man, that's why I told y'all, bro. It's nothing in life like actual experience, and being there to see it. Okay? None of these people that are telling you the biggest, we had the biggest financial guru class ever pop up over the fucking pandemic. Why? Because of cryptocurrency. And none of these people could possibly fucking have the knowledge of a Jim Rickers or Robert Kiyosaki or any of these older Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's even saying the same shit, y'all, by the way. So it ain't just these, these unknown, just weird, kooky old niggas, okay, or old white dudes saying this shit. Again, bro, even the people that are official and fucking recognized, older motherfuckers, they understand it and they see it, bro, because they plan out and they track, past our lifetime. Okay? The math and the cycles and shit, bro, like I said, is just it's the same principle of life, right? Shit only goes on for so long before you have a fucking up. Shit's gonna have to fall down. And we were well overdue for only because it was falsely fucking propped up in 2011 because of the 2008 fucking recession.
Greatest bubble of all time times 3 in the sense that it's real estate, stocks, and other asset classes. So I do. That is my view, but it's shared by a number of other analysts.
And that would mean like S&P coming off another 20-30%.
And again, you have to remind people. 1929, everyone's like, 18th or 19th. It was late October 1929. The stock market fell 22% in 2 days. It wasn't one day. It was like 12% one day, 11% the next day. So 23% over 2 days. But that wasn't the crash. I mean, that was the beginning of the crash. This Dow Jones fell 82% from top to bottom. Now it took 3 years. It bottomed in June 1932. Started in October 1929. So not quite 3 years. But that fell 82%. And Nasdaq's down, bounced back a little bit in recent days, down close to 30%. Down the S&P down over 20%. We're in bear market territory. But that's just the beginning. That's not what a full market adjustment looks like in the face of the kind of recession that I expect.
Talk to me about inflation, because I was looking at some of the inflation numbers, and you have to go back to the 80s to see anything that's approaching double digit. I remember being just a kid hearing about double digit inflation. I could kind of remember the gas pumps, the lines at the gas. It's like a distant memory of me in the 70s. But how do you talk to younger people these days about what inflation is or it means? Because I don't think people really grasp what it actually means to your savings or to the economy in even a medium term.
Well, that's exactly right, Brian. And if you're a little younger than I am, but I lived through it. I started my career in banking in 1976, and so I remember my wife and I used to kid each other. She was in advertising, I was in banking, and the inflation was so bad. You'd get a raise every like 4 or 5 months. And you didn't have to ask. They would just give it to you because they knew that you were going to quit if they didn't keep up. So she would get a raise, and she was making more than I was at the time. So we'd go out to dinner, and I would get a raise, and I was making more than she was. So we would just tease each other about that. That's how it was. And the psychology was, you know, if you needed a whatever, you know, TV set or refrigerator, new car, whatever, I better buy it now because the price is going to be higher. If I wait a month or 2 months, the price is going to run away from me. So it had huge behavioral. Of course, the old was, you know, going to the moon. There was a lot. But Brian, you're right when you say we're putting up inflation numbers today that are the highest in 40 years. That is correct. Actually, it was 1981 before we saw these numbers. But I remind people, the inflation in 1981 was the end of a 10-year period of inflation. It wasn't the beginning. It's, oh, that's inflation. Yeah, we did. But it had started. In some ways, it started in 1968 and it really took off in 1974, 75. So 81, these numbers, that was when Volcker finally got it under control. But you go back to 70, well, between 77 and 81, so that 5-year period, the dollar lost 50% of its purchasing power in that 5-year stretch. So you were putting up numbers, you know, 10%, 11%, 13% and higher year after year. Yeah, 1981, it was, you know, 9 or 10, which is what they're comparing to today. But that was
Now, I'm gonna make sure I highlight this, okay? Because they're comparing it to that, and they're saying it's going to be worse than that. So they said the dollar in 1981, that was 2 years before I was even thought about. The dollar lost 50% of its purchasing power. 50%, y'all. What person can afford to pay double for everything they need? Think about that. What person can afford to pay double for everything that they need in life? Housing, gas, food, clothing. You know, just think about that, man. Yeah, South to D-Ski. Yep, that's another big one too. They purposely playing with gold because they don't want to get back to the point of where you have a fucking bad currency. But the way they're saying it, and I heard Jim Rickers explain it, and I think Kiyosaki also, it may get just that bad, brother, where they have to go back to backing it with something, because the difference between now and then is the reserve. America was a reserve. The dollar was a reserve currency back then also, but it wasn't as powerful then as it is now, and so fucking globally dependent. So if the dollar loses half its fucking purchasing price for us, what did it just do to the whole world? You see what I'm saying? This is why the shit is going to be super crazy. Listen, bro, vans, RVs, whatever, it's going to be a lot of fucking, bro, it is about to be a very, very cold winter, as they say. Okay. And I'm just here to hopefully, man, you brothers won't be affected, hopefully. But if you know you are, man, hey, you need to bite that bullet, admit it to yourself, and move accordingly. So you're not as bad off as you could be. Again, if you gotta fucking move in with somebody, you gotta get a roommate, man. Get a roommate, bro. Okay. If you gotta fucking downgrade, okay. If you got too much apartment, bro, you know what I'm saying? You on the loft on the water, you know what I'm saying? You know, with the fucking skyline view, brother. Don't end up homeless and down bad, man, and hurt just to fucking keep up with, you know, a fucking image or whatever, dog. Because you're gonna be hurt for, like, bro, like I said, when this shit happened before, bro, it was a 10-year run. That's what he's trying to say. So, like, we expect 10 years of this being this way. So if you're expecting a 10-year run of it being the worst fucking economic shit you could ever fucking think of in this day and age, okay, bro, just think about it. I think about it when I in the 80s, man. The little bit I remember about the 80s, bro, like gas was what, not even 50 cents a gallon in the 80s. Nick, help me out. Nick, how much was gas? How much was gas in like 85, 88? One of the older brothers had to help me out with that. I distinctly remember, bro, like gas was nothing. And back then, that was the muscle car, fucking big block 350. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Every car, every truck goes with the fuck out of gas. Shout out to Nick Taylor, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's it. Because I had to argue with somebody because, bro, gas was still less than $1 when I graduated in 2002. Yeah, so 74 cents. So you went from 70 to 74 cents now to $3 a gallon. Okay, that's just a nice perspective. Rent prices back then, shit. You know what I'm saying? I have to ask my mom. I wouldn't know. That'd be something that's reasonable. Go back and look at the rent prices in 1980. You know what I'm saying? Just Google that, see what it was. How the housing market, how much did a house cost in 1980? And what I did know was back in the 80s, right? In the 80s, when houses were bought, it's like there was no 30-year mortgage like that. There was no 30-year mortgage. You fucking getting a 5-10-year mortgage at the most, and you know the housing price was barely $100,000. You had $100,000 house in the fucking 80s, bro. That was a mansion. That was crazy. Made out of bricks, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So man, it's crazy, bro. You really start considering, you start looking at the progression of society, right? But with that progression comes what? Less quality, less land. You're more compacted together. You know what I'm saying? Everything's closer. Like just everything, bro, is just to the point, bro, of where you have to be aware of what the fuck is going on. Shout out to Nick. Yeah, see, look, full brick house, man. You can't even, bro. You can't even find a brick house nowadays. I don't even know if they make brick houses anymore.
It was on the downslope. It had been higher than that in 77, 78, and 79. So the question is this the beginning of an inflationary surge where it's going to get even worse and it is going to last 5 years, or is it different than that? But keep that in mind, because the 40-year comparison, it is correct. But that was the tail end of an even worse episode. There is this comparison to the 70s. By the way, I think the situation we're in today is very different from the 1970s, and I'll explain why. In the 70s, it was triggered from the supply side with first the Arab oil embargo in 1973 as a result of the 1973 Arab-Israeli war, and then the price tripled, but it went from like $2 to $6. Okay, but percentage terms, that's a huge jump, but it was still $6. And then it got to 12, and then in 1979 you had a second oil embargo because of Iran and the Ayatollah and the revolution, and the hostages and all that, and then it went from kind of 12 to 20. So oil went up by a factor of 10 in the course of the late 70s because of two different embargoes. So that's coming from the supply side. But what happened was the other source of inflation is on the demand side. So you have what's called cost push inflation. That's where supplies choked off, or there's an embargo, or there's a shortage, natural disaster, a lot of things. It's coming from the supply side, and demand is inelastic, so you just pay up or kind of do without. The demand side is much more psychological. That's called demand pull inflation. That's when consumers behave the way I described, and as I said, I lived through the 70s, where hey, better buy it today, better buy it now. You're pulling all this demand forward and bidding up prices because you're worried that it's going to get even worse. So as that applies to today, we are starting with the cost push inflation, mainly the price of energy, but the price of food is a big factor. And of course, they're related. I was like, here's the energy, here's the food. Where do you think the food comes from? To get the food, you got to feed the pigs and cows. What do you feed them? You feed them corn. How do you get corn? Well, you grow it on a farm. You need nitrogen fertilizer. You need diesel in your tractors. You get the food. You got to put it in a truck to get it from point A to point B. It requires diesel. The higher the diesel price, the higher the cost of food because you're moving it by truck, etc. So these things, as I say, are linked. But food prices are going up substantially. And the two things you can't do without are gas in the car and food. So you have that cost push inflation.
Yeah, it's not, bro. I'm telling you, this is nowhere near the stuff. The small parts you're seeing now, bro, is nothing as bad as nearly as going to get from a financial standpoint. And you need to be prepared, bro. All right. The whole shit talking about, black women being evicted and shit or whatever, cool, fine, laughs here and there, giggles or whatever. But the most important thing is too, Fantastic was right. Everybody else that was saying it was right. A lot of people saying, "Oh, it ain't no winter is coming. You niggas is like, bro. Listen, bro. Fuck all of that. Okay, this shit is gonna happen." And like I said, with the just the basic fundamental economic understanding I had before I really got deep into listening to Kiyosaki, Jim Rickers, and Investor Pass and the people that they were listening to, right? Just if you understand just basic fucking economics, bro, it has to happen. Okay, everything happens in cycles. Okay, even especially fucking the economy. And what happened was, like I said, when I started listening, they were saying how the recession of 2008 was cut short because of QE and all the fucking money printing. Well, damn, if you fucking cut something off short that's supposed to fucking go and take its whole course to pretty much like, you know, reset the financial market. Shit. Well, what's going to happen when it finally collapses? And as much as, yeah, I'll admit to the fact that the whole winter is coming shit was geared towards women, you know, and women getting in line and shit like that, bro. I wasn't worried about that because for one, you know, it's just like, bro, I'm not about to harbor. I'm not finna harbor no whole. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not getting with. Listen, dog. Listen, bro. The craziest part about the whole high value man shit or whatever when it happened, right? Everybody's talking about high value men don't care about, you know, no woman making no money. Yeah, which may be true, but I've heard several high value men say the opposite. I heard several motherfuckers say, well, hey, if you can't buy it yourself, I'm not buying it for you. These are the, you know, the rap niggas, the entertainers, or whatever, all these people that got the bread, and these bitches think they're gonna deal with them and just get a come up. No, they end up getting a, you know, some that, you know, the part that come before the up, but they don't get the up. You feel me? So when this was being said, man, I was like, well, damn, this whole winter is coming shit. This don't just apply to fucking women, bro. This applies to men and just everybody because it's economics. Economics ain't exclusively for fucking women or black women or whatever. This shit is for everybody around the board. And it's just like, okay, are we getting prepared ourselves? Are we ready for this shit when it comes, when it hits? And especially during the whole COVID shit, bro. Like I said, I already knew how that was gonna go. Bro, you shut down the world. Not just America, but you shut the world down. Most importantly, China. China fucking is the world's biggest fucking exporter of goods. No matter how cheap and shitty they are or whatever the fuck, that's who everybody goes to make this shit because that's the cheapest fucking labor. All right. Captain Cisco, yeah, I still got my fucking XRP. I took the hit, but yeah, I didn't sell it. I know it's gonna go back up. The XRP thing's supposed to be, they pretty much say, bro, they're gonna lose that. The SEC is gonna lose that case. And XRP actually had a big ass jump just 2 days ago when I checked on it. I want to say it jumped like 20%, if not higher. But either way, yeah, I still got it, man. I'm gonna try to get some more before, especially if this SEC shit gets dismissed or whatever. They make a settlement. Yeah, man, and yeah, shout out to hard work. And what's crazy about it was the little bit of understanding I had even back then, bro. Everybody, not even speaking from a from just a financial or economic standpoint, bro. Nobody wanted fucking Bank of America to stay around. I can tell you that, bro. It's what's crazy to me is how they tried to turn was it BB&T? No, Wells Fargo. They just tried to turn Wells Fargo into like the worst thing ever. They did some fucked up shit. But bro, when I tell you I've experienced firsthand the fucking dirty, just horrible shit that fucking Bank of America did to fucking people, bro. And not from a mortgage standpoint. I don't have a mortgage with them. I'm just having a bank account with them, dog. I'll never forget to this day, bro. I got a fucking $4.37 check from Bank of America from a fucking class action suit I had no idea even existed for account holders, not mortgage people now, just account holders. Bro, I ended my fucking account with Bank of America, bro, because I deliberately, and I did this before. That's how I know they fucked it up, and they purposely did it. So while they made the overdraft laws as a way you couldn't overdraft whatever, bro, Bank of America would hit you for an overdraft fee per transaction, right? But they would allow the transaction to go through versus just denying the transaction. Instead of saying, hey, nigga, you ain't got the money, decline. No, they would let the shit go through and then hit you with an overdraft fee, even if it was to the penny. So everybody, shout out, listen, man. Everybody wanted fucking Bank of America to fail, bro. Everybody. No matter what your fucking your financial literacy was or economic understanding was at that time, bro, everybody knew, bro, Bank of America just needed to fucking go. You could have let somebody else buy out their fucking contract or hand it over to somebody else, whether it be fucking Chase or what's the other big bank out here? Chase and this, what's the other joint? whoever the fuck, I can't think of, but whoever the fuck it was, them motherfuckers should have been, hey, ooh, kill them. Ooh, kill them. Fuck Bank of America, man. But yeah, they're still here. And now, do you guys understand, or have you heard of the new program that Bank of America has for minority buyers, home buyers? 0% down and all this other shit or whatever, and flexible this and all this other shit. And I'm like, bruh, listen, y'all understand what the fuck they're doing? It's the same shit all over again. And some people talking about, oh man, well, there's no money down. It gives you a chance to own a house. Yeah, it gives you a chance to own a house, but you're still at a fucking high rate. You're not gonna be able to fucking afford, bro. What are you talking about? You're not gonna be able to afford that house, and what they get to do is they still gonna take that fucking house for you 4 or 5 years later from now, put it back on the market and resell it. And not only have they did that, now you ruined yourself from a fucking credit standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. Bro, the worst of the worst. And that's why I say, bro, another thing too, bro, you'll be surprised as to how many people weren't adults in 2008, right? So they didn't have an understanding of, at that time, what, $4 gas, I think it was. Gas hitting $4 and really in feeling a recession, bro, as an adult. Especially like for me, like if you're on a set salary and there is no overtime or shit, there wasn't no jobs. You know what I'm saying? All these factors and things that you just don't know because you haven't went through it. And I think that's the scariest part, because with Gen Z, right? Because Gen Z were either just being born or just, little innocent kids that had no fucking idea. These people are grown now. And they don't know. And not only is it going to be a recession, it's going to be a recession that fucking transforms to or expands into a depression for a long period of time. So, how are you going to maneuver and put yourself in a position to be highly successful when there's very, very little opportunity? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, everything, bro. Savings account is a savings account is worthless. You're fucking what? You're not even making 1% on your savings, okay? And then the inflation rate now, they said, I think the last inflation rate they admitted to was 8%, which is actually somewhere definitely above 10, but probably near 15 or whatever. They're talking about inflation getting up to 20%, man. You know what I'm saying? So if that shit's gonna happen, like what's the possibility of you making it as a young adult? You know what I'm saying, out here, especially single. And that's another big thing too. So it encompasses the whole scope and the whole view of everything, right? Less people are starting to cohabitate. Men are saying fuck this shit as far as marriage because they see the hustle in it, they see the bullshit, they see how bad it is. So hey, well, nope. And then women, what's crazy is I seen this woman talking about, oh, we ain't gonna live together, we ain't gonna stay together, we ain't gonna this. Okay, all right. Okay. Now, when you're homeless, you ain't got nowhere to stay, then what? Yeah, Kid Clouds, Kid Clouds, it's got to happen. What the hell? What is this? Love being Nubian. When the Sarah and Good Sarah kick in, it will be so much better. Please research it. Okay. Thanks. I don't know what it is, but okay, I will definitely look that up. Nasara and Gusara? Never heard of it. Listen, bro, it's bigger than that. Again, this is really well, I'll say that for 10-4 Tuesdays. All right. I'll say that for tomorrow. Okay. But yeah, man, listen, it's way bigger than what it is on the fucking service. Big Neff, man. You said a lot of troll stuff, man. I would love for you to hit that link, brother, and come up here and give us some of your ideology. Because, bro, the majority of people, regardless of race, is not living outside, fam. You're not living outside. Yeah, man, appreciate it. If you're here too, man, definitely hit that like button for me, bro. I got what we got here. I got 100 of y'all in here, but I only got 74 likes, man. Give me them other 25 likes or dislike it. I don't care. Hit one of the hands, man. Y'all know how we get down. Confessions and Therapy, what's up? Do I have an EM? What is it? What is an EM? I don't know what an EM is. Love being Nubian. Okay. I don't know what that is. It is what it is. What's up, fam? You got it. Ray, what's up? Yeah, man. Listen, that too. Listen, bro. The whole thing where they're trying to, and I don't know if they passed it or they're still on or they killed it yet, but they're bro, get land or property anywhere you can get it, but especially land. You can get land, get it. You know what I'm saying? Because usually they're not gonna charge as much for the land as they charge for the property being on it. Okay, Big Neff, I understand that many are homeless and many more will be, but telling people to do something without the proper skills, you know what I mean? That's trolling. You tell people to buy a tent and go live near water. Okay, now you got tent cities, right? And that's already happening in fucking we see the atrocity and the failure of that in San Francisco, in California, right? Oh, okay. Well, again, man, I don't know. What the fuck? Animal? No damn. What the fuck? What? What? What the fuck? What? I'm pretty sure it's not email. Oh yeah. Email. Yeah. Mr. Fantastic 824 at gmail.com. Yeah, sure. Yeah, all of my stuff is the same. Mr. Fantastic 824 at gmail for my email. Mr. Fantastic 824 on Twitter and IG. That shout out to D-Ski, and that too. That's what I'm telling you, bro. It's gonna be a lot of hard. Well, no, brother. I'm not telling you to be quiet. Listen, brother. I'm not telling you to be quiet. I like your feedback. I like your feedback, but I'm just countering what you're saying. You know what I mean? To flesh out and have the full conversation. Like I said, if you are willing to, you had the time, I would love for you to hop up and we can actually talk together versus, type or whatever. By no means am I telling you to be quiet, brother. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm just saying, okay, well, now what? We get people to buy tents and move next to water. Now what? Okay. Or do they know? Okay. Because, we know everybody knows how to take a bath in water. Cool. Fine. Great. Do they know how to strain water to make water drinkable? Do you know how to fish to get fish out of that water? Well, how long are fish going to last in the water if people are using it, for washing in it and, other excrement and stuff like that? You can't eat the fish out of there now because you got people shitting in the water. You see what I'm saying? So, Timothy Wooten, appreciate you, fam. Okay, hold up, my bad. Hold on. Appreciate you, bro. Well, no, and that's hard work. We know that. The Great Reset told us that. Again, man, if y'all haven't read the Great Reset, I will be going over that too. We will be doing that just like we did Tragedy and Hope. We'll be doing the Great Reset on here too, bro. Listen, man, all this stuff has been pre-planned for a long, long time, dog. For a long time. Celestial armor because it's shitty fish. That's why. You have that number of people living in it, man. It's just inhabitable. It's to the point where you can't even use it to wash anymore. There's a reason why, your water plants put chlorine and stuff in the water, clean the water out, strain the water, all this stuff, because, bro, it's so easy for you to get fucking, clean water is a global issue and problem. That's why most of those third world countries and whatever, the number one thing for them is water filtration centers, because if you don't have clean water, bro, you can't survive. You have to drink water, but if the water is clean and it's constantly making people sick, you see what I'm saying? So that's why water is so important. Yeah, shout out to Kid Clouds, man. Listen, everything that William Cooper said, that shit is, remember William Cooper was talking about aliens and shit in the Navy, bro, and seeing aliens in the Navy and knowing the Navy had information about aliens in the 80s. The Holy Pale Horse came out in the 80s. Now, just look at all of the information that the government is finally bringing out and admitting to concerning aliens. So again, man, like a lot of this shit may seem wild or whatever, the conspiracy theories, tinfoil hats or whatever, bro. But dog, it's more to life than what you just fucking see on the surface, bro. It really is. These kids, like, it's already over with. I think what Germany is damn near in collapse. They're talking about France having to do the same shit. Hell, talking about natural weather disaster. They're talking about the whatever this I don't know if it's a hurricane yet or this tropical depression that's coming up right now is gonna be huge. Yeah, listen, man, and shout out to you brothers, man, for being aware, dog. That's my most important thing, man. Listen, we can bullshit, we can shoot the shit or whatever, we can joke and do this, man. But just as a man, especially for us, 30 or better, man. You have a responsibility, brother, to know what's going on in the world, okay? Especially knowing shit and having an understanding of what's going to affect you eventually. Like I said, I didn't know that not Germany, excuse me, but Russia and Ukraine provides 15% of wheat for the world. The world, okay? The world. Now, when you take that away, you see what I'm saying? How big of an impact is it going to have on food prices? Bro, the food price shit hadn't even hit yet, bro. If you listen, you need to be buying the hell out of your fucking rice and learning how to make your own bread, bro. Real shit. So what are you going to do? Is Navy still going to pay you? Hell yeah, they're gonna pay me. Hell, you talking about what you mean, brother? I've never missed a paycheck. That's not gonna change. But I will do this too, right? And when I retire, man, that's guaranteed money, bro. I'm good. Yeah, man. Yeah. Those, yeah, brother. The cleanest water, bro. The cleanest water on the world, bro. Is Navy ships. Telling you, turn the salt water in the fresh water. Telling you, bro, it's crazy. The science behind that in itself is just amazing. Shout out to Truth Teller. I remember he told me he was into water filtration. But so no. But so Captain Cisco, this is the problem that comes up and why the okay. Appreciate you on Love Being Nubian. This is the problem that happens with the military, right? So the military, what happens is you have set salary, right? Have set salary. So, and even for us, the majority of people, if you get a promotion, it's going to take you up to 6 months to get paid for that promotion. But that's if you're in the window for even being for promotion. So when stuff like this happens, especially like for Jacksonville, because their rent and cost of living went up like exponentially compared to like most other places. So you're in this weird position as to where your pay really doesn't cover the expenses anymore. You know what I'm saying? So like BAH now at this point is barely covering rent in Jacksonville. In some cases it's not. Like I said, if you got, kids and stuff or whatever, because military don't pay you for each dependent, it just gives you a flat rate, whether you got dependents or you don't. So what's happening is you keep that same pay, but the cost of living and everything else around you is going up. And then two, in a recession, you can't even get a second job or anything because there's no jobs to be had. You feel what I'm saying? So that's as big of a surety and security the military can be in recession situations is really a handicap. And like I said, I learned that back during the first recession. Hold on, let me see. Well, no, Jason Bass. Well, you can't stay on post for now. Most bases have moved away from staying on post, like family wise. So they do that for the people that don't have families and things. National Economic Security and Reformation Act. Forgiveness, credit cards, mortgage, abolish income tax, abolishes IRS. Create flat race. Yeah, what is this though? Should be Nubian. What is this a proposed thing? Because this is just not gonna happen. This is not gonna happen. It's perfect, it's great, but that's not gonna happen. To be Nubian or that's they're not gonna allow that to happen. Nah, hard work. So you only get cola in certain areas. So like Hawaii, and some parts of Cali. I want to say I don't want to say Cali. The only place I don't think there's a CONUS place that you get cola in. You may get incentive pay with places that motherfuckers don't want to go, like the spot up in Nevada. But nah, the only place you get cola stateside is gonna be, well, United States would be Hawaii, but that's also considered Oconus. All right, shout out to Jason Bears. All right, brother. Yeah. You only getting cola Oconus, man. Well, again, yeah, man. That's not just that. So the dynasty, a dynasty is only supposed to last on average like 100 years. So you know what I mean. We'll just leave that. Y'all trying to get me into tomorrow, man. We gonna save that for 10-4 Tuesday. Y'all trying to get me there, man. Okay, appreciate you, fam. Good to see you too, man. Well, it's gonna be a swing of power, but it's from what they're trying to do. That's the question right now. We don't know what they're gonna do because nothing else is strong enough or takes up enough of the economy to replace the dollar as the reserve currency. So the question is, okay, do they back the dollar now because it's going to be so bad, or does something else just come up like Bitcoin or whatever to point to like replace it? You see what I'm saying? But that's why they're fighting cryptocurrency, because they can't. They need it to happen, but they don't want it to happen that way. Yeah, Kid Clouds, exactly. That's the plan, and they're already planning that. And what's crazy, man, is like you said, just like certain other things that happen, they have models for this, and they talked about this too. So, man, again, if you guys aren't already, and let me tell you, it's InvestoPads, of course, Robert Kiyosaki's channel, and it's one more. Let me tell you guys what the other one is. At Stansberry Research. That's what it was. And that was the one where they get a lot. So between Stansberry Research, Robert Kiyosaki, and a few other pages, that's where they get a lot of those things. What? Aliens took you out for a chicken biscuit? No, sir, they did not. Captain Cisco, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's going to be XRP. XRP will play a part, because from what they were saying, man, a lot of places are unofficially getting on the boat with XRP, but you can't use it right now because of the suspension due to the SEC filing. So I don't know. Yes, indeed, brother. It will. It certainly will. And the thing about it is, most importantly, man, remember, yeah, women are are an important part of a man's life simply because, again, you go to the hierarchy of needs. Sex is the only thing on there twice. Okay, sex is the only thing on the hierarchy of needs twice. No matter how you want to explain it or whatever. Whatnot, what have you. From a reproductive standpoint, again, you can't have people or anything or any existence without sex. You have to fucking procreate. And then from an emotional and connective standpoint, it's on there twice for a reason. Okay. So this is why I stress to you guys, like when motherfuckers like to go overboard, man, we don't need no women. Man, fuck the women. All this, like, brother, either you are a asexual, okay, or you're just delusional, okay. Or you know what I'm saying, you you don't like pussy. Okay, it's very, very few reasons, but you know what I'm saying, you as a man need a fucking woman just like a woman needs a fucking man. Okay, no matter how much you want to do the bullshit or whatever and go back and forth, cool. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You're trying to defy nature, and you're trying to defy science. You're trying to defy just the universal law. Okay, man, woman, up, down, left, right, all this shit, whatever. It's purposely the opposites of each other for balance. So the whole thing, man, like I said, when the winter was coming, shit was happening and it was being said, most people was just looking at it for the entertainment value and the message to these women to get in line. Again, like I was telling y'all, you go back and look at me when I was saying that, bro. It ain't just for these women. It's gonna happen, but most importantly, when it does happen, are you gonna fold and you just. And that's what it really was too. A lot of niggas. Well, listen, celestial, and listen, I'm telling you, listen, brother, celestial armor. But it's happening. It takes time. So it's a lot of stuff that happened in between the time where it was supposed to happen, and you can actually fucking see, and these people are telling you as to why it didn't happen earlier like it was supposed to. It's just finally happening now. It's going to be so bad because it's being purposely and artificially put off when you should have just let it happen and everything occurs naturally. The natural cycle occurs. You go through it. You go through a recession, but you don't go through a depression. So again, man, that's same people saying the same shit about Robert Kiyosaki and Jim Rickers or whoever. Again, these at some point, bro, you can't deny success. Okay, if a person is successful in some shit, that's one of the very few things that no matter what your opinion of them may be or your reservations or whatever, if they're successful, bro, okay, consistently over life, like most people lifetimes, bro. Robert Kiyosaki, Jim Rickers, bro, have been doing this shit longer than I've been living. So me to say, oh, you said this, you said this, you said this. Okay, young fella, just wait, just give it time, just give it time, just give it time, just give it time. Of course, man. I'm just telling you. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Shout out Kid Clouds. It's supposed to happen. And they was telling people this because it was literally at a point to where all it takes is one thing, because it was artificially put off, to make shit just fall off a fucking cliff. That's why they kept saying it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Well, look. Love being Nubian. I read your thing, and I don't know what I want to call your philosophy. I feel you, but you can't have mattress. You can't have money under the mattress, man. You can't have money under the mattress now. You can't just walk around and keep all your cash. But hey, Love being Nubian, you bring up a great point. There's a reason also now as to where now most y'all remember this shit because I remember before I came in the Navy that and shout out to all my old vets. They used to tell me you could get an actual printed check, but it's not even an option no more. You have to put your money through these banks. You have to have a fucking direct deposit. Can you get a check anymore? Can you guys? Oh yeah, definitely. Peter Schiff, yep. Can you get a check anymore on a job, people? I don't know. I'm asking. Well, how does he? They can't take your money. But this is another great point that Jim Rickers brought up too. If you wanted to say you had $50,000 in the bank or whatever, right? You ask for $10,000, you have to wait on getting your money. You ask for $10,000 cash, not only you have to wait for getting your money, your ass gonna be investigated. So she has a point. I understand what she's saying, but at the same time, well, the gold, turn it into gold and silver. Okay, I feel you, but again, too, that's another big thing that you have to know how to do it, have the channels to do it, and all these other things. And at the same time, yeah, man, I don't even know, man. Hey, shout out to DC, exactly, man. But hey, man, listen. Most importantly, man. Okay, shout out to Nick, man. Okay. So people still doing that. Okay. Come on, man. Y'all get wild, man. But yeah, man, listen. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, exactly. Because it's fees for them credit card fees or bank fees and doing that. But hey, man, listen, that was my winter is here. All right. Winter is here. And it's not just, black women getting evicted or whatever. It's everybody's finna feel this shit, dog. It's officially here. Back to back negative GDP. That's happened. That's what it is. As much as certain people and certain individuals are trying to change that around, and then just start looking around, man. Just start looking for yourself. Use the eye test. Okay. Yeah, gas went down, but we know why gas went down. And at the same time, they're deliberately trying to passing these laws as to where you can't no gas operated vehicles. That's gonna be on my 10-4 Tuesdays too. Bro, listen, dog. The stuff that's those of us that can see beyond the surface, bro, are gonna be able to live totally, completely different from those that don't. At the same time, it's gonna put a big ass target on your back too. So be ready for that, man. All right, be ready. Be ready for the all the alphabet boys that's gonna be looking at you, investigating you, all kind of crazy shit, dog. Okay, because you're out here telling the truth about the shit that most people just can't see and don't want to see. Which at some point I don't blame them, because again, man, once you see, you can't unsee it. But at the same time, bro, it's gonna come a lot of shit off there, bro. No, Celestial Armor. I'm talking about cash. Cash. If you pull out 10K cash, brother, and you didn't get you might think that, but I promise you, dog, somebody's definitely looking at you. You fucking take out 10K cash, bro. Well, hard work, that's the thing, man. And that's another big thing that's gonna happen too, right? The quote unquote civil war they're talking about, bro, it's not gonna be an actual thing where people get shot and shit like that. I don't believe. Most of it's gonna be economically and just way of living. Shout out, brother. He said, hey, what's up, Mr. Fantastic? I'm still working out to join up, bro, before my knees go out. Hey, man. Hey, brother, if you want to do that, by all means, man. Nah, Captain Cisco, no, sir. You don't want that. Listen, control opposition. Elon Musk admitted to being a socialist. Like, he literally said it. So, like I said, as much as it can be two things to be true at the same time. Will Brown, what's up, fam? Elon Musk did a lot for the whole free speech thing when it comes to social media, but at the same time, bro, Elon Musk is building fucking building the Terminator, bro. Not only building the Terminator, but building fucking some, transhumanism, motherfucking 1.0, dog. The combination of Neuralink and the Tesla bot, dog, bro. If you're trusting Elon Musk, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Wait, what? How am I fantastic Samuels? What the fuck? How did that even happen? Stop it, man. Hey, well, Celestial Armor, brother, more power to you, fam. Hey, listen. Exactly, bro. For real. Hey, bro. Tesla, bro. When I listen, no matter what, Elon's purpose is, the nigga's a genius, bro. He's literally a fucking genius. All right. The man's did shit from engineering standpoint, aerospace standpoint, bro. Unthinkable, right? And then just his whole thing. So this is another big thing too. And I'm gonna give y'all this and we're gonna bounce out. So the biggest issue and problem you're gonna have with anything that's electric, right? Batteries, bruh. Batteries and just fucking electric function as to where you have an outside source coming in that can either, allow or not allow you to fucking run your car, bruh. You should want no part of that. Okay? Because you literally can, that means at any point in time, you could have an accident. If you understand what I'm saying. You can have an accident. So I'm just telling you, it's even bigger than that, man. The battery shit, like I said, once that battery is gone, you get a dead cell or whatever. You got to get the battery maintenance to get the whole battery car. That's a whole nother car, bro. And I don't know what the battery expectancy is of it. Hell, they were showing just the other day a Tesla just caught on fire because of a fucking electrical issue. Snoop Dogg has an IQ of 147. Okay. Exactly, bro. But motherfuckers don't see it. They ain't gonna see it till it's too late. But listen, man, I appreciate y'all for pulling up on me, bro. We did this thing for about what? I put the link out. You niggas didn't want to pop up. About a last chance. I'm gonna put up there again. Hold on. Oh, talking about Snoop Dogg? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, bro, that's a short time for a car, man. You gotta think about that. For a car to have a major overhaul like that for the whole battery fucking shit, that's 20 bands. 16 to 20 bands on average. For Tesla, I'd imagine it's probably on the higher end, like 20 bands. That's nothing versus hell taking a $500 or a $1,500 at most to replace the engine and transmission. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you wanted to get crazy and wild, go brand new shit, you still gonna be somewhere like more like 10 G's. But that's overhaul. That's like complete overhaul. You know what I'm saying? From your drivetrain system. Dr. Thunder, what's up, man? Shout out. Love I already did. I read it. I told you that love being Nubian. That the rest of the stuff is not. That is never going to happen. The government will not allow National Economic Security and Reformation Act. They're not going to let that happen. You know how much money they be giving up? Well, hot and dusty. That's the thing. Elon Musk is getting away from lithium, and he's going to create a whole nother battery platform. I forget what they say what it was, but he does that, bro. If Elon Musk does his battery thing, bro, like it's just ridiculous. Yeah, listen, shout out to Plundra. But remember they tried to sue him, bro. They tried to sue him for that. And that's another that's another huge and largely telling thing as to where like Tesla, you can't go anywhere outside of Tesla and get Tesla parts or do anything, bro. There is no aftermarket. There is no fucking Duralast for Teslas. Okay, you got to go. Oh, okay, I'll take the other one. Wow, I have to look at that up. I got you. I'll look it up, Love Being Nubian. I'll look it up. Well, hey, next time drop your ass up on this panel, brother. Graphene, that's what it is. Appreciate you, man. Next time, brother, hop your ass up on here and speak to the people. All right. Don't be out here being scary. But anyway, man, hey man, it should be cooling down a little bit. You know what I mean? It's hot out here. It's dry heat. So I'm gonna hit these streets, you know what I'm saying? I'll be back up here later on. Y'all see me, you know what I'm saying, walking down these strips and stuff or whatever. And I'm gonna get at you, bro. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, 14,000. Yeah, Nick, I'm good. What Randy used to say? That's a no for me, dog. That's a no for me. But hey, man, that's it on that one. I'll catch you on the next one. Holla.